The Gachathi Report, Kenya's forgotten blueprint for education. In 1976, Kenya stood at the crossroads. Independence was barely a decade old. Schools were expanding rapidly, but unemployment was rising. Values were shifting, and education was no longer delivering the promise it once held. In response, the government of Kenya appointed a powerful national team to answer one question. What kind of education does Kenya truly need? The answer came in the form of a landmark document, the Gachathi Report. Today, we revisit this forgotten blueprint that still shapes Kenya's education system nearly 50 years later. After independence in 1963, Kenya invested heavily in education. Primary schools expanded, secondary schools multiplied, universities grew, and education was seen as the surest path to employment, social mobility, and national development. But by the early 1970s, cracks began to appear. Thousands of school leavers were unemployed. Rural-urban migration surged. Education costs were rising dangerously, and society was drifting towards white-collar job obsession. Kenya needed a serious national rethink. In December 1975, the government formed the National Committee on Educational Objectives and Policies. It was chaired by Mr. Peter J. Gachathi, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education then. The committee brought together education experts, economists, religious leaders, trade unionists, business leaders, and politicians. Their mission was clear: evaluate Kenya's education system, define new national goals, and recommend a clear program of action. After nationwide consultations, the months of intense work, the committee submitted its report in December 1976. At the heart of Gachathi Report was African socialization. Not socialization as the world knew it, but a uniquely African philosophy built on two pillars: one, political democracy, and two, mutual social responsibility. This philosophy was expressed through one powerful word, Harambee, which meant pulling together. The report warned that Kenya's education system was drifting away from these values. Schools were producing certificate seekers, job hunters, and individual success stories, but not enough community builders, problem solvers, or self-reliant citizens. One of the strongest warnings in the Gachathi Report concerned unemployment. The committee observed a dangerous myth that formal education automatically leads to paid employment. By the 1970s, this was no longer true. Thousands of educated youths were jobless, not because they lacked certificates, but because the economy could not absorb them. Meanwhile, agriculture lacked skilled youth, rural industries were neglected, and the informal sector was ignored. The verdict was blunt. Kenya's education system was producing job seekers, not job creators. The report called for a radical shift in what and how children were taught. Key recommendations included teaching problem solving, not rote memorization, strengthening science, mathematics, and practical subjects, making education relevant to real Kenyan life, and linking schools to their local communities. The committee criticized exam obsession and warned that schools had become examination factories instead of centers of learning. Education, they said, must prepare learners for life, not just tests. The Gachathi Report placed teachers at the center of reform. At the time, over 35,000 primary school teachers were untrained. Teaching quality was declining and discipline was weakening. The committee declared there can be no improvement in education without improving teachers. Recommendations included better teacher training, stronger professional discipline, efficient deployment of teachers, and upgrading untrained teachers. This thinking later influenced the Teacher Service Commission reforms. Long before TVET became popular, the Gachathi Report was already there. It strongly supported institutes of technology, vocational and skills-based training, community-level skill development, and these institutions were meant to serve rural youth, support self-employment, reduce pressure on universities, and in many ways today, TVET revival echoes Gachathi's vision. Another major concern was money. Education spending was consuming nearly 30% of Kenya's recurrent budget. The committee warned unchecked educational costs could cripple national development. Its solution was control expansion of higher levels, introduce cost sharing beyond basic education, and prioritize quality over quantity. This recommendation later shaped cost sharing policies, university financing reforms. Though published in 1976, the Gachathi Report still speaks today. Its ideas echo in competency-based curriculum, TVET expansion, skills-based education, and value-based learning. Many of today's reforms are not new. They are unfinished conversations started by Gachathi. The Gachathi Report was not just an education document. It was a national mirror, reflecting who Kenya was and who Kenya aspired to become. Its central message remains powerful. Education must serve society, not just individuals. It must promote unity, values, skills, and self-reliance. As Kenya reforms its education system today, the question remains, are we finally ready to complete the vision of 1976? Those who forget policy history often repeat its mistakes. This is a position from Focal Show. Having given you the position then, and we need to ask ourselves as we move forward in the 2020s, are we probably repeating the same mistakes which were addressed over 30 years ago? Join us as we give the other reports to find out whether there was repetition, improvement, or situations worsened. Continue subscribing to our channel, comment on our videos so that we can give you what you really deserve. In Focal Show, we are building stronger communities together. through knowledge and education. Thank you so much and continue viewing us.